Hey everybody, what's up? We're playing some Blitz challenges here Friday. Someone on sound, what's up with you? Arsenal fan, Mr. Coffee. I didn't see you guys on my radar. Oh, you just showed up. Arsenal fan, someone on sound, Mr. Coffee, all in a row. Right on time, guys. Welcome, Mr. Coffee. Thanks for being a moderator on my stream, as well as a subscriber. We are underway. We're going to be taking challenges. Only 5+3 Blitz, so nothing like 6 or 7 minutes. A little bit faster. Weeding out those 7-minute games. I'm taking all challenges I get, regardless of whether or not people are subscribers. The only requirement is that it's casual 5+3 and that you have an established account with approx 100 games played other than Bullet. Dragon B, someone on sound. A couple of subscribers starting it off. Alright, I'll leave the guest area. Just want to say hello. Hello. The Ponda theme is on.
No!
Alright. Dragon B, again, thank you for your generous donation. You guys can support the stream with PayPal donations, also on Streamlabs, streaming donations. And of course, just bit donations and subscribing here on the stream. Many ways you can help me support the stream. We're starting here with Dragon B, also a bit donator with 500 bits this week. Thank you, sir. All right, let's get started. Knight F3. Happy Friday, whatever that means. So D5. I'm in the mood to play something a little bit different. Running out of openings to play. Let's see, why is Sunday is my favorite day? Because it seems like the quietest day around here. Sunday became my favorite recently. I'm just thinking to play something creative and new, but all right, we'll stay within theory with C4. We only got 5 minutes plus 3 seconds per move, so not good to waste too much time. Very well. Mr. Coffee, someone on sound. Someone on sound, what's up with you? Traveling a lot with the new job? You and Mr. Coffee have that in common. You guys both have relatively new jobs. Alright, E6, Bishop G5. So, yeah, I mean, Black's going to challenge this opening either with D takes C or H6, but Bishop E7 does not challenge White's setup. We just transposed to a kind of passive Queen's Gambit declined. Just getting over the jet lag just in time to travel again. Alright, let's see what we got. Queen C2. With the idea of possibly castling queenside for White. Bishop takes F6 here and just attack like a maniac. Let's try that. We'll go with the pawn storm with G4, H4, G5, like a sharp Sicilian, opposite side castling. I don't normally do this kind of thing very often, but it seems against this more passive setup with Bishop E7 and C6 and H6, we ought to try to take advantage of it. Bill 2WK, one of our newest subscribers, thank you, sir, for joining us. Anita's here. What's up? Sub gifter. Anita has a box with a bow on it. Nice. I'm a sub gifter. It's like the Beastie Boys. All right. Bishop takes C4. What is up? Where does the bishop belong here? Dragon B he's trying to get spicy with the C5 and or B4. I am not in the mood for that. So let's make sure bad things don't happen to me. Try to make sure bad things don't happen to me. As he throws his pawns toward me. His pawns seem to be faster than my pawns momentarily. Where's Asprey today? Good question. I don't know. He's not attached to me with an umbilical cord. Who was that said that to me? Very rude answer. I'm trying to remember, like, somewhere. Maybe my sarcastic roommate in college. Yeah. But no, seriously, I don't know where Asterbait is. He's maybe he has some activities on Friday. Queen's Castle looks psychotic. Wow. Expand your mind, my friend. I'm just going to opt to not touch anything here. Try to get a rook over to c1. We haven't had time to go with the pawn storm yet. What, he does have knight a6 though. That's actually kind of irritating. Maybe my timing was bad. I should have played like knight c5 first. Today's a playing day. Purple Dragoons. Can you play people today or analysis only? Yeah, today we're playing challenges, so you can get in the list if you have an established account on lichess with close to 100 games. All right. He can trade off his bishop if he wants to, but he has many problems here, and he can't solve them all. Good for you. I'm proud you quit that evil chess site. They just want your money. Rook c1. What are we going to do? Play knight c5 first? Is this going to end up helping me or hurting me? Purple Dragon, we'll give you credit for 50 games. I never did get that pawn storm started. He just went, you know, totally controlling the tempo of the game. And I never had time to execute said pawn storm. It's never too late, but I think what we're looking at now is trying to use the C file and basically just exploit his overextended weakened pawns on the queen side. I'm sure that I've played inaccurately, but the general consensus is that black is positionally in trouble based on backward pawn. My favorite concept in the Queen's Gambit and Semislav is to punish this backwardness here. I mean, we got to think twice before we take that. He has Queen d5, and it's a little bit irritating. Fuchsia, what's up? Luana. So it's a little irritating, like, to lose control of the C file. I wonder if I should hold off on just trying to win it directly. Savor the pawn. Savor the moment. Because if I take on c6, okay, here's another option. It's another minor concession. Whoa, baby. What are you doing? Was that a mouse slip or what was that? He just did a kamikaze bishop mission. Well, I mean, I don't know about c5 for black, but I don't know about this either. This is just down a piece for black now. I wonder if it was a mouse slip. You can't really do a mouse slip, though, with bishop takes a3. It was an inspired sacrifice. he's regretting it now. Yeah, I mean, I think this was his concept, like that, you know, I can't really take that, but I don't need to take it. I mean, maybe I can take it with a rook. You just have to be a little bit careful. Always be careful. Look both ways when you cross the street. Sometimes that's one of my jokes on the stream. You know, just crossing the street is dangerous. You can always get hit by a bus. Be an optimist. Today I was digging through my old stuff in my house and I found an interesting item. I found the program or bulletin from the 1999 Isle of Man tournament. The only one I ever played in the Isle of Man, where, a funny thing, I forgot about a game I had. I remember most of my games from that tournament, but I had forgotten that I played Sladgie. He ended up finishing near the top. I remember that I just barely remember that I played Sladgie, and the funny part of the game was that I played the closed Sicilian with white, and I'm always talking to people about how I really don't like the closed Sicilian for either side, and almost never played it, but that game totally escaped my memory. It's just interesting when I remember most of my games, but for some reason, one or two games just like kind of slips through the cracks in your memory, like you just don't remember at all, and it vaguely kind of is there. But I actually had a decent tournament except for losing to Sladgie. I think I lost against Alexander Schneider too. But he also beat Kasparov, so gonna have to feel bad about that. All right. Anyway, it's fun to go through your old stuff. Spassky played the closed Sicilian a lot. Yeah, it's just funny that I didn't remember that game. I lost. I'll have to review it. I don't. Maybe on our next subscriber stream, when we do game analysis, Sladgie. How I lost with the white pieces in a closed Sicilian. Okay, someone on sound. Lots of challenges. Someone on sound. Arsenal, Paide, Bisonov. 10-year-old. Luana and primary disease. The only requirement is an established account. Primary disease, is that anyone we know? No. I assume primary disease is like a new person. Oh, that's you, Purple Dragons. You were exaggerating. You got 15 games. Normally I wouldn't accept someone with a really few games like that, but we'll make an exception since you donated a few bits to the stream here. Yeah, the Monaco Assurance Open in Hungary in 1999. What? The Monaco Assurance Open followed me to Hungary in 1999 by way of the Isle of Man. No, I mean, obviously it was in the Isle of Man. That's where it always is. That's kind of funny. What's up, Move 11, Never Odd or Even, Dragon BC. Never Odd or Even donated 100 bits and Dragon BC with 500. So it's Jim with 1,000, Dragon with 1,000, and Bill with 200. Never Odd or Even among the others. Guys, thank you so much. Never Odd or Even and Bill with 200. Warnocky, Merle Dixon, Purple Dragoons, and Asterbait with the commercials. It was a funny incident that I just thought was funny because Sladgie and Nigel Short are now kind of political chess politics guys. And I just thought it's really ironic because in that tournament, like the round after I played Sladgie, he played Nigel Short on the stage and they hated each other for some reason. So Short and Sladgie were playing and there was this funny thing that happened where because of his like dislike for Nigel Short, Sladgie was like taking the pieces as he captured Short's pieces, he was like taking them and dropping them on the floor from the board. Not putting them on the side of the board. He was like putting them down on the ground for some reason. It was just like really bizarre, I have no idea. It was just like showing his disrespect or hatred for Nigel Short. But I wonder, if you asked him today about it 20 years later, They'd be like, "Oh, no, we don't hate each other." I don't know what they would say. Anyway, Someone on Sound is up next. 5+3. Just popped in my head because I saw this program from that tournament. Are people forced to play on an empty stomach in Hungary? Bad jokes will get you nowhere. What do we do with this guy? What if we play E6? I'm just so bored of the same thing every time. Oh man, awesome. Someone on Sound's going to play C3 the next move. Is that it? It's a delayed? Alright, we'll just play a C3 Sicilian then, dude. Arsenal fan is like best line. Oh. And Bishop B4, that's your line. Interesting. I didn't play your line. I don't know that. Okay, this looks like ridiculous. My first impression. Wow. Totally unsound coffee house line for white. Master of the coffee house. Mr. Coffee. It's funny, Mr. Coffee's not coffee house at all. And Someone on Sound is looking unsound today. Though normally he I think has a good understanding of strategic play if he wouldn't sacrifice pawns in the opening. It's the Petrov. But I magically have a pawn on e6 instead of c7. And your c2 pawn is gone. That's what I think. It's a solid Petrov. So Purple Dragoons is in the challenge list. Got it. Do we play like f5 or do we go knight back to f6 passive, right? Or do we take on c3? All these different options. I mean, that's still a threat, right? We kind of have to do this. Now you can win a pawn back. Look at this guy. It's like he's done this before. There's this dude that one of my neighbors, he's been mowing his lawn. He's been mowing his lawn for like 2 hours now. I mean, I swear to God, and his lawn is not that big. And Friday night, you know, you should get your ass beat for... This is the weekend, man. You're not allowed to disturb people with your lawnmower. Alright, Rook B1. You're missing Queen B1, winning the pawn back. Damn, dude. He's got the pressure. Start it again. He thinks he has like a mansion or something, so he just does it for 2 hours, but it's really not a very big piece of land. Queen C2. So primitive, this guy. Someone on Sound. So what do we do? H6? I've gotten mated by him before. His coordination is nice. Yeah, he's playing like a closed structure like it's an open game. If someone on sound plays like this against strong players, he's just going to get beat down. I mean, he needs to play soundly. You know, I don't know why he keeps playing this stuff. All right. Trapped my exchange. Bishop a6. You own a very open lawn, so it depends. It takes maybe 40 minutes. Yeah, 45 minutes to do an acre. Exactly. I think that's fair. And his is like less than half an acre, I would say. So, it's ridiculous. There's these people that have no life, and basically, like, he's just doing it because he likes riding around on his, like, ride-a-mower. Just for sport. Man, I wish I had time to do that. I wish I had all this extra time. I could spend my extra time with my ride-a-mower. I don't even have time to play chess. I'm a professional chess player. It's kind of sad. So look at someone on sound combining threats on both sides of the board now. Perfect coordination, as Arsenal fans said. God damn it, Jerry. Play with the pieces is like perfect. You know, his placement of every single piece on the board. Just give away a pawn for nothing and then play for a win. Is that the idea here? I mean, how does that work? This is what we figured. Chess is not my hobby, though. This guy's scaring the bejesus out of me. No matter what you do, he has compensation. You missed it. You're playing the Mora Gambit, and you missed it. No, I didn't mean to sacrifice that Mora pawn. God, I can't believe how much play White has here. But I seriously think he should have played Bishop h6 there and won the exchange. He wanted, like, more, I guess. See, at that point, maybe I had knight c4, bishop c4, rook c4, rook e6, bishop d7. Knight h6 check. Maybe I should just play knight c4 there immediately. Good pressure. The original, not Fischer. I don't mind sacking an exchange. I'm not sure I really have to. Thanks, guys, for supporting the stream. Dragon BC, Bill today. Trying to win the other exchange. It's a little late for that. The book ends. preventing e5, threatening exchange sacrifices and stuff. e5, pawn takes pawn, bishop takes g4. We'll just play e4 and try to stuff him up spatially. Now he's just like totally speculating. Can play bishop e3, I guess. There's back rank. So I'm gonna guess that I was clearly worse at some point here. What does the engine say? I felt very uncomfortable. Never Odd or Even, thank you for the donation. I'm not confident about this game. I think he had really good pressure. Let's see if he missed anything. Felt scary. It looks like move 17. He's got compensation. Yeah. He had an advantage at one point. After 16, bishop e8. He had reached the pinnacle of his position at this moment. So he can win the exchange, and he should win the exchange with bishop h6. I thought f6, I sacked the exchange. I mean, this wasn't a mistake. This was an intentional exchange sack with bishop f8. But apparently he can play knight g4, which I didn't see, and try to win a pawn instead of winning the exchange. Interesting. Here I thought I had compensation, but basically, you know, he's up in exchange, and it's not clear if I have enough. All right, so good game. What do we call it? Was it a good game, or just an okay game where I won by time? Very stupid opening. I mean, where did my pawn up go, by the way? I guess knight f6 is dubious. What? Where did I go wrong? So the engine wants me to play f5, but what do I do on knight b5? This is what I don't understand. Maybe I have some crazy move like g5 the computer feels good about. Oh, it just doesn't consider this a threat. I get it. So bishop d7, and this just isn't a threat. I did not appreciate this concept that I could just let his knight come into c7. So knight takes c3 was a mistake. Okay, little analysis there for you guys. Arsenal fan. It was an unsound game, but I did not like playing knight takes c3, and I thought and I was afraid, you know, to allow knight b5, but it was no big deal. I'm black again. So what does Arsenal fan do against the knight f6 Alyakin's defense? I don't remember what his mudra is here. I got a beer. Cheers, guys. Humidity went down just a touch here, so I don't need like an ice pack while I'm streaming. But there's supposed to be a heat wave on the East Coast in the United States the next 3 days. Not quite as bad here as some places. I'm fairly far north. All right, spicy. Arsenal, very inspired player. Yeah, it sucked in Pennsylvania in 96 today. I guess I'm just going to play like the recommended line with bishop f5. Am I supposed to exchange first? I can never remember. Because I never really played the Aliekins defense full time. It's not really a deep part of my repertoire. I'm never quite sure about the move order. Oh, I allowed G4. Just kidding, guys. Sometimes I joke around. I'm supposed to take at some point. I know that. We've had this game with Nefedov. It's kind of like, why do I have to take, though? Why do I have to take? Like, if I just play, like, Bishop E7, just sort of delaying the inevitable. It's probably okay. Canadian and you're a friendly stream here. Yeah, I remember when I was a little kid in elementary school, it was about, I don't know, I don't remember what year it was, but in the 80s, they tried to get Celsius and the whole metric system going, but people just didn't really buy into it. Do you remember that, Mr. Coffee, when they tried to make the metric system work? Do I download what? Twix. I don't even have time to play like random blitz games. I have the stream and I teach lessons sometimes, but I don't even maintain my chess database anymore. All right, H4. Wow. That's kind of a crazy move. I mean, it seems like my bishop on F5 is pretty solidly safe now. I didn't play the World Chess Festival in '88. I wish I could have. I was in St. John, New Brunswick. I was like in school, and I don't think I ever really seriously considered playing that, but it was kind of a fantasy. Would have been nice to do that. Great tournament. Tal played, won the Blitz tournament up there. But I was in New Jersey at the time. It was much farther. If I lived in somewhere like Massachusetts, maybe it would have been more close. Okay, we've got to try to break against the center here. And F6 looks strange, but it's actually a standard idea in this variation to get enough counterplay for the black pieces to get free. Bishop to F4. I did. I'm not a lifetime chess loser. I actually got a college degree. Never did much with it, but if I ever go for a job interview, I can tell them, I can have it on my resume that I have a college degree. Pretty good. We're the most professional chess players. What do you guys think? The average chess pro, if you call me that. I'm kind of semi-pro. Do they have college degrees? Okay, sometimes they go back and get it later. Like Kamsky tried to go back and get an education after he became like the 5th best player in the world or something. Kind of funny. First it was like law school, then medical school. Then I don't know what finally happened. Maybe he went to business school. I wanted to major in economics. I was in liberal arts. But I was playing chess too much and it was too demanding. So I almost flunked out at one point, and then I had to change my major to psychology, which was easy. So I had no issues. I had good grades after I switched. But I was basically like trying to do economics, and it was a lot of math and required like serious study. So I I liked psychology. It was interesting, though. I was never chasing a lot of money. I had a lot of friends who basically went to school to try to, and I think that's the reason why a lot of people go to college. Not for the education, but kind of like just a way to make money, to learn to make money. It's kind of messed up. I think that like we forget the real reason you're supposed to go there is to get an education. I regret that I didn't study more when I wasn't in school, but I was really getting into chess, unfortunately, at that time. So I remember like once when I was studying, I like quit, not quit, but I missed like a week of classes to go to the New York Open. That was really good for my, it was really good for my grades. Castles Queenside. Yesterday, last game or 2 games ago, Arsenal fans said I was insane to castle queenside on the white side of the queen's gambit. I mean, what do you say about a guy who castles queenside on the white side of the Alyakin's defense in the 4 pawns attack? Damn, I'm having hallucinations now. But I became a strong player because I lived in Boston, and there was a lot of really, really good chess players in Boston in that time. So it ended up, it wasn't my intention, but it ended up being like kind of lucky because I learned, a lot of chess from a lot of strong players in the region. Now it's not such a strong chess area, but it was in the early 90s. There were just tons and tons of masters. Not so much now. Bishop g5. Good move, dude. Wow. That's an excellent move by white. No matter what I do, I can't seem to win material or shake him in any way. Oh, I just dropped a knight. I can't believe it. God damn it. God damn it, Jerry. What are you doing, man? Castle's queenside in the Alyakin's defense. That's not normal. Alright, what are we doing? Things are getting crazy now. Man, I have some crazy ideas. You're unsure what he's thinking about here. I'm unsure what I'm thinking about here. No, but he had g4 last move, right? What am I going to do if he does g4 on this move? Like, I'm seriously concerned. Do I have a resource here? See, it's just really strong. I knew it was a problem. That's why I said, God damn it, Jerry. It's all a lie. It's all just a fancy lie by me. Knight a4 was not good. It was just too spectacular. Just should make a normal move. That's what I get for playing for the gallery. A lucky win. Oh, man. I swindled him. But it wasn't deserved. You like knight a2 check first? Just the arrogant give away the piece first? And then that's just not right. Yeah, but you missed G4, Arsenal fan. That's the only thing you should be upset about. That's a good resource, and you're probably better, seriously better after that. All right. Am I next? There's a list. You're in a couple games. I'm black every single game? Man, that's weird. What's up, Antonio? That's a classic mating theme in the most commonly in the Knight f6 Scandinavian, like in the what's it called? Scandinavian Gambit or Portuguese Gambit. You get like mates like that sometimes. And I've played Knight f6 Scandinavian, so. Alright, someone on sound. We'll see you for the Sunday Simul, guys. Simul, it's gonna be 5:30, same time on Sunday, 25 players. We do that pretty much every week. Where you will play something more sound. Fianchetto, very solid. I'm going to try a c5. Actually, I shouldn't play it right away. I should really play probably d6 first move. I don't play the Benoni. I don't play the black side of the Fianchetto Benoni. I mean, it's a good opening. There's nothing wrong with this, but it's not really part of my repertoire. I'm still going to get to play next two games. You're still going to get to play in the order that we take them, you know? You're going to get to play after the guy in front of you. It's not, you can't see the list, but do you guys see it when I put it up on the screen? That's weird. Yeah, you can see it. You're like second on the list. I think the lawn guy is now like trimming his hedges or something. Why does he have to wait until after work to do it? He's retired. Doesn't even have a job. Rook e1. That's a good move. Bishop e7, e4. Nothing I'm going to do about it. Alright. Nothing I'm going to do about that. That's a problem. Good move. Well, alright. Hey, what can we do? We just got to develop the pieces. It's a little like a Benko. I mean, could I play e6 here? Doesn't look right. Asterbait, I've told you, you know, I know that I've discussed this with Asterbait, but in Queen's Indian sort of Owen defense situations, it's usually bad to have a bishop like this. Blocked by the pawn on d5. But here I think the thing is, his d5 pawn's not well protected, so he can never really play e5, can he, without dropping it? Yeah, Uber driver, I did consider knight e4. It looked really weird. It's like the vulture. I just couldn't pull the trigger on the vulture there. But you're probably right. It could be a move. Embarrassing. I looked at it, man. It just looked like a violation of opening principles. So now c4 becomes a theme. But I need to develop my pieces anyway. Right. There's a big fat hole on this d3 square. I don't really want to take and give him knight c4 either. If he takes, I can play it like a Benko with a6 maybe. Delayed Benko. Knight g4, pawn takes pawn, a6. Let's do it. I could do a6 there. I mean, that's like the routine move. But now it's all different, right? He's threatening e5. Yeah, because this is secured, he's starting to threaten that. So, I mean, maybe this wasn't a bad idea. 5+3 casual challenges. Guys, thanks for joining my stream. Heading for G4 and the happy D3 square. I don't know, Purple Dragoons. The only other player who really collects ads is Acerbate. You'd have to ask him. So I think at this point now, you're threatening F4. You could consider E6, right? But then he takes on E6, takes on E6. F4, knight C4, take. Oh, might be reasonable. If E6, CB5, ED5, ED5. Is taking here an option? I feel like maybe I should just simply capture. So this move order doesn't allow me to play E6. Don't have a lot of counterplay right here at the moment. I mean, general ideas like A5, A4, A3, put pressure on B2. If bishop G5, rook E8, never ought or even gifted a tier 1 sub to Purple Dragoons. His first gift sub in the channel, nice. Do we have another gift sub today? No. What's up, everybody? What's happening in the chess world? I don't even know. I'm asking the question. Too much other stuff going on. Twitch showed me an ad for an Amazon movie once, dubbed in German. Rook B1. Alright, let's just go. Strengthening the idea of Queen B4. Can't have any of that. And Baisanov is a good player. I think he's got a very fundamentally correct game, and he could go far. I don't see a lot of bad habits for this player. He's a relatively new subscriber to the stream, but let's say you have potential. You play a correct style of game, you know. Positional, no overt attempts to make tactical tricks and stuff like that. It seems like he's very sound. The opposite of someone unsound. It takes me a long time to get to know you guys as players, and when I play like 3 or 4 games with someone, I really just don't know much about them. This move looks exceedingly awkward. Some kind of weird idea of rook b3. I'm getting confused. Definitely not a move I anticipated. Bishop e5, then h6. Is it going to go rook b3 now? Almost has to. Otherwise his bishop will get trapped. It's like forced. Rook b3, bishop a4, rook b6. Now I have h6 winning a piece. No, he has rook b3. This is kind of complicated. Rook b3. Wait a minute. Rook b3, hg, a4, bishop a4. Never mind. Rook b3, hg, bishop f1. You lured me into weakening my king side. Guys, tomorrow's my day off. Yeah, I mean, that's the question, though. Is bishop f1 enough? No, because I just go bishop a4 anyway, duh. Alright. So he loses a piece. Alright, so rook e3 is the suspect. Yeah. I was curious about Uber Driver's suggestion after rook e1. This has actually been played in a handful of games. Serbian Championship, Marcus versus Ivanisevic. Ivanisevic, who I know. Bunch of decent players have played this. So knight e4, we're toying around with the idea of this. This looks crazy to play that, but the vulture. It's anti-developmental. I'm not surprised there's some holes in this. So bishop e7 is the primary move. e4. Yeah, this was the point where I seriously asked the question, could I play e6? And the answer is that Boris Danish did that. I'd rather play like Ivanisevic. We got a whole bunch of games after this transposition though with d6. Did Ivan play e6 as well? He did. I'm not sure. I was actually concerned about e6 takes. And that's the game, Marcus versus Ivanovic. Yeah, good with Serbian names, but... So this is not a problem, because you take with a d pawn. I was looking at like this, you know, and then it's bad for black, I guess. That's the point, you just take like this. And black's completely okay, apparently. Alright, I trust those guys. Let's go on to the next game. So, subscriber primary disease is next. We get white, finally. The French defense. I hate the French defense. Gotta say, I hate the French defense. You don't have to be a subscriber to play today. I'm not favoring the subscribers, but mostly you guys are subscribers. This is a really messed up move, bishop c5. That is just really crazy weird. But I bet it's been played before. I stopped d5. The point of queen e2 is to stop d5, or discourage d5, I should say. Uber, like 2f4, a different opening. Can you play 3f4 against bishop c5, Uber? What do you think? Purple Dragons, we can always delay your game if you want to. Delay of game has been called. Originally I was thinking of pushing to e5, but I don't really see the urgency with that. Urgent care. You're not allowed to time me out. I'll time you out for repetitive jokes. Knight g6. It is Chigorin's move, man. He was like freaking father of the Russian school of chess. Nothing much. Nothing much. Knight g6. e5. I want to play h4 really bad here. But this guy's supposed to be 1,000. That move is seriously suspicious. I thought he can try to strike in the center with something like e5 maybe. But maybe I shouldn't play just knight g5 right away. Knight g5 right away, f6, queen h5, f takes g, queen g6. That looks kind of odd. I guess I could play knight g5, f6, knight h3. That's probably the way to do it. The cool retreating move. They're twins. Wait, what are twins? Chigorin and Chigorin? I think they're related. It's like Uber Driver and Merle. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how you necessarily translate the Russian, Cyrillic alphabet into Latin characters. It's totally, I would think it would be kind of arbitrary. There seems to be some disagreement about ch. That's a very tricky pronunciation in Hungarian, I will say. The ch, they even have like a very distinctive combination of letters that's extremely common in Hungarian, CS. Kind of one of the most common letter combinations to make the ch sound. No question about how Chigorin is spelled in Hungarian. So we're trading queens, we're a pawn up here. Good shape. Just develop. Keep developing. And Chigorin in German with the TSCH. That's not confusing enough. We already had two spellings. He doesn't seem like 1,000. I don't get it, We've been through this discussion already, but whatever level Luana is, it's not 1,000, and I don't know why they're rated 1,000. Like the strongest 1,000 in the world. He beat me in a weird simul game. He beat Arsenal fan, who's like 800 points higher. It's pretty unbelievable. I mean, he's making mistakes, but it's more like 1,600 level mistakes, not 1,000. He's like underrated by 1,000 points. That's pretty weird. Getting counterplay. Very good speed. I guess this is why he's 1,000. He'll occasionally make like a really massive oversight. There, a whole bishop with check. But the rest of the game, he played like he was 1,700. You give mate in one every game. Not every game. I wish. I'd have a perfect score. No, that was... Alright, it's over now. I like the Queen E2. I've played it in tournament games. This is not a disrespect or a joke opening. I mean, this is the move played by a guy who was practically almost the world champion. Chigorin was among the best players in the world, and I think, you know, probably considered by many to be one of the strongest players to never be world champion. He, you know, was a massively amazing player. Queen E2. Not a bad move, and it's a move that's followed by some modern... It's been followed and played by modern grandmasters as well. It still comes as a surprise, it seems like, to a lot of players. Strangely, at this late date. Alright. Guys, thank you for supporting the stream. I'd like to thank Dragon BC, especially for a generous donation. You can make a donation via PayPal. Also, PayPal, Streamlabs PayPal. If you click the Panda GIF, you can get a streaming donation. And everybody who's given bits to donate, like Jim and Dragon BC and Bill, thank you very much. So Primary Disease gets to play. Are you ready to play Primary Disease? You made one blunder. Yeah, a big blunder. You made little mistakes and then a big blunder. Alright, Purple Dragoons. Closely related to Yellow Dragoon. It's like martial arts belts. Is there a yellow belt and a purple belt? Okay. Need to move some stuff in the garage. The lawnmower. I think the lawnmower guy finally stopped. I don't mind, you know, but it's like, it's the weekend now. Give me a break. From 5 o'clock on Friday evening, you should no longer be able to, you know, like, use your your lawnmower. All right. I live in a place where I have like 10 neighbors because I'm kind of centralized, and it's just like there's someone mowing their lawn almost 24/7. It gets on your nerves after a while. If you have like a normal house that's just like in a row, you know, you got like one neighbor on the other side and one neighbor on the right and like one neighbor on the left. It's not that bad. But I'm like sort of surrounded by neighbors. Oh, it's my game against Emil Stratovsky. He played d6 against me. And then I played g3 and went into a classical kind of closed Sicilian. Why I didn't play like bishop b5 check against Stratovsky. But I never played for draws. If this was Mule Skinner or Morales or Zen Chess, maybe I would play like g6 or Yellow Dragoon. I would play g6 here to avoid their bishop b5 thing. This has been giving me fits, the bishop b5 move. Your basic theoretical chances of winning here are very low, but I nevertheless have some tough time with people who are 1600. Blubby's here. Mark Hebden. It's rare to see someone play knight f3, actually, because usually they're all gone to do the closed Sicilian. But Hebden used to do this move order sometimes. I don't know why. Against me. And he would just play d4 and transpose to a normal Sicilian. Don't know. I didn't really think about his move order. Okay, this is interesting, though. This leads to something independent. e5, why not? Why not? Because I don't like e5, but it's totally playable. Morales, it's absolutely, like, a lot of principal players like that move. You know, there's a lot of theory on that. Knight f3, actually knight e2, knight d5 is very standard. Knight f3, e5, I'm not... Yeah, I mean, that's a line too. You can absolutely play e5. I just don't really like that structure. You know, it's a matter of personal taste, I suppose. The rant on lawnmowers. You're a trash man? I had a fight with a garbage truck driver once. Not really, it didn't escalate all the way to blows, but it was close. He was driving the wrong way down a one-way street with his trash truck, and I lost my shit, and I started yelling at him. And he got out of the truck, and he was like twice as big as me. I was like, what did I do? Fortunately, he like worked for the city, so he didn't really want to like lose his job starting a fight. But it was close to physical fighting. Oh man, dude, it was a one-way street in Boston, and he was halfway up the street, and it like blocked me from getting out, and I was just like losing my mind. Boston drove me to have road rage, Uber driver. I guess you can understand. I never had road rage till I had a car in Boston, and it was like I lost it. Once I just like laid on the horn for like 5 minutes at this intersection where I was like blocked in traffic. I just totally went nuts. It was like Falling Down, that movie with Michael Douglas. Does anybody know that one? When he just abandons the car in the first opening scene of the movie on like a Southern California freeway. Yeah, I guess he dies at the end. Fuchsia likes it. It's depressing. I should have known. There's a lot of one-way streets in Boston. My dad used to carry a baseball bat in the car. I don't have kind of old school. I don't have like, you know, automatic weapons or anything like that. I don't know about Rook FD8 actually. This move, I don't know, it just sort of popped in my head, but it's kind of a strange square for the rook. Yeah, Luanareda, I believe that. I mean, it seems like you must have just learned the game quickly. Yeah, it's believable. You're a unique player. I mean, you're 1,000, but you should be like 1,600 really fast. I mean, it's clear. You know, you just need to eliminate the one move blunders, and you're gonna be good. Yeah, I mean, there's something weird about the game. I knew it. You know, he's got to be like a genius who just learned chess, but he's got these holes in his game where he like makes one move blunders. Because I was like, wow, he's not 1,000. There's no way, you know. I think it's important to treat all people with respect in chess. You know, I remember there was nothing, you know, there was nothing worse than like trying to ask a question of a strong player and they talk down to you like you're lesser human being or something. Occasionally you'll see a grandmaster like act like that. I mean, sometimes people are just tired and you ask them and they're like, oh, just leave me alone. I mean, I've seen like title players be really rude to like amateurs who just wanted to ask a question or but sometimes like sometimes people are annoying, you know. Like I told the story yesterday about, it's a very common scenario where you see like this kind of typical chess player ask a stronger player some chess question about a position, you know, and like the weaker player just assumes that you can see in your head what they're talking about. But I mean, oftentimes like you can, you know, and they just go on this rant about, and I had my bishop on g5 and there was a pawn on h2 and, you know, and, yeah, whatever, guy. Okay, like we can't understand unless we actually see the whole position where all the pieces are, you know, so just don't don't waste my time. What's that? Even walking has some chances of not making it back home. What's that? What are you talking about, Antonio? Oh, Spassky. Yeah, another great player who respected amateurs was Bronstein. Kamsky's dad. Yeah, he was legendary. There was the incident when he was playing Gelfand. Gata had a match with Gelfand, and Shabalov and Roman Gingiashvili were Gata's seconds. And apparently he like beat up Shabalov because he spoke to Gelfand's wife during the match. Just like totally paranoid, you know, that just even communicating at all was like the guy was like giving away secrets or something. He was crazy. Does anybody know if Kamsky's dad is still alive? I have really no knowledge at all of the situation. Just kind of curious. Curiosity killed the cat. Jim just donated a tier 1 sub to Fuchsia. That's awesome. You can win a pawn, but we have to give up. No, we don't win a pawn. Having strange hallucinations again. Primary disease, no relation to Cheesy Noob, right? He's 1600, but it's provisional. Everything's provisional. F4 is risky. I'm going to sack an exchange. This is kind of risky, but it's a defensive sacrifice. If he offers me a take back, I'll know it's him. He has a similar style somehow to Cheesy Noob. Maybe not quite as fast. You know, Cheesy Noob is pretty fast. And Primary's playing the same speed as me. I'm always paranoid. There's like, people are using this different accounts and stuff. He's now a gift sub. He's a subscriber to the stream. I think Cheesy Noob was a subscriber briefly, though. I mean, this is not a gimme because I made this Petrosian like exchange sack. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm golden here. Now White's suddenly going to have attacking chances. Wow, this is getting a little bit scary now. White's definitely pretty good. I mean, for his lichess rating. He panic blundered. Similar to Luana. He has some chances, but gets nervous in time pressure. I think his position was completely playable, and it's not clear who's even better there when he sacked the rook incorrectly. I would be approximately saying like it's about equal when Primary Disease did that incorrect sack. I'm going to evaluate that position as dynamically equal. The Moobot won't stop. Jim, thanks for the donation, sir. Jim's the champion of the week with 1,000. Stay focused. He's got H4. Got to be a little careful of that H4, H5. I mean, not enough pieces left. No counterplay. I should have played Queen C8 to trade queens. There's a check. Check's okay. All right, so I just want to take a look at one thing before we go on to the next game. At the point where he blundered, right, with rook takes g7, I'm going to say that he has enough here to be about equal, and that I don't have more than enough for the exchange. That's my evaluation, dynamic equality. Engine thinks I'm slightly better. Fair enough. I just want to be sure that I'm not worse. I thought I wasn't confident I was necessarily better. It's a good exchange sack. Alright guys, thank you for the game. Next one. We've got 6:48, so we got an hour and 10 minutes left. Plenty of time, 70 minutes. Pide, Morales, Save a Dog. All these guys are subscribers. Chess Francisco is new. If you have 50, 100 games, I'm willing to play. Yeah, alright. So Dimitrilas. This is a new player, Zakilu. And Hiroku and male Pingu. Male Pingu is male, right? I mean, there is a Pinga, but Pingu is male. Anyway, we don't need to clarify. Alright, Pide is up. Oh, alright, sorry. I missed the warning too late from Mr. Coffee. Well, Pide, when he comes back, we'll play him first, okay? No problem. But he'll get the black pieces. There's no simul today. I do that on Sundays only. Mr. Coffee, sorry, I just missed it. Bloby said, it's good to see Bloby back. Sorry, Pide. You said stay focused on playing Queen C6 instead of Queen E1. What did I miss? Did I miss Queen E1 check? He was hanging a rook and I didn't see it? Oh, okay. I thought his bishop was on F2. Alright. Morales might have connection problems. Then we'll lose 2 games in a row. I mean, we'll not be able to play 2 games in a row. Let's see how he does. Purple Dragons, I don't think you're going to make it with the second game. I normally just play people once. There are some streams when there's not many players, but this isn't one of them. Probably on a Monday or a Wednesday. Well, Monday you have a better chance. Would be the best chance to play like 2 games or something. Alright. We've had some interesting Caro cons. Let's continue our discussion here. The male Pingu, it means chess penguin in my language. Wasn't sure Pingu actually meant something. That's funny. I thought like the cartoon, you know, the claymation Pingu was, I know that it's made somewhere in Europe. I thought it was like Swiss or, does anybody know where Pingu is made? You were 2,000 on chess.com. I had trouble getting over 2,000 based on the computers playing over there. I feel better about bishop f5. Okay, this is a replay of our last game. I just take the subscribers, the challenges in the order I get them, you know. Simple as that. There used to be a problem where they would flip-flop, and sometimes people who get disconnected come back. But normally they go back to where you were if you get disconnected momentarily. 92. Now this is looking like the normal thing. This Shabalov, my Shabalov game from 1989 or whatever. Isn't this the way it's supposed to go? Master, good evening from Portugal. I've never been to Portugal. I know only like one player who I met, Luis Gallego, years ago. Seemed like a nice guy. I played another Portuguese master who Bloby knows, passed away. What was his name, Bloby? No, I forgot. Yeah. So knight f4, I play this old Portuguese Durão, yeah. Durão, this Joaquim Durão, and in the New York Open he was pretty old. And I underestimated him. It was a long time ago. It was a long time ago, like 20 years ago, when I played Durão, and I thought, okay, it's an old man. He's like 2100. It said I am next to his name, and I thought, okay, whatever. He's old, but he beat me, and I was higher rated at the time, so I was pretty. Those are the only Portuguese players I know, pretty much. H4. Yeah, they have. So it's odd that I've only played like one Portuguese player ever then. Probably Durão. I don't think I've ever played anyone else that I can remember. And I'm 0-1 against your country. H4. I don't know this variation. What is Morales doing? He's smoking dope here. Man, this looks extremely unhealthy for white. But at the same time, knight takes e5, knight takes d4 isn't so clear. Funny variation. Queen a5 check, bishop d2, knight takes e5. And this is just totally unsound. This is not somewhat smoking dope. Somewhat unsound, it's completely unsound. Yeah, I've heard of like Damaso, and I know that they did a lot of work on the Scandinavian with knight f6 years ago, because that's called the Portuguese Gambit. An opening that I played a little bit. So I recognize that name, Damaso, from being one of the guys who used to play the Scandinavian. Most people don't play that opening much anymore, though. Couldn't beat a potser like you, Bloby. All right, what are we doing? Man, Morales is the master of confusion. Arbitrary. Whew, I totally picked an arbitrary move. I didn't know what to do here. 95 is non-developmental. I think it could even be a problem because of rook b3. Probably I should have played bishop c5 instead. Now f3 will win a piece? Is that what you're telling me? Maybe I ought to just play h6. There's also bishop b4 check. Then bishop d2. Doesn't really help me. Knight b4. Wait a minute. Knight b4. Does that work? This looks wrong. It looks wrong. It's not a developing move. Then again, he's not really developed either. We both have 3 pieces in the game. I have the bishop, knight, and queen. He has the rook and 2 knights. Both kings are unsafe. But I have 3 pieces that are really out of play completely. And he has really like 1, 2 pieces that are completely out of play. This is Fisher Random Chess. When I play Morales, it tends to be lately. Okay, Paide's back. He'll be the next game. Then Save-A-Dog Chess Francisco. I've got another hour to play. The trick is knight d4, queen d4, knight c2 check. So this is a threat. Knight, you know, rook b3 is not a good move. So he did this, which is probably his best shot. But it does look like his position is semi-refuted now. Not like he's losing by force. Knight b4, but I'm developing quickly with tempo. Knight b4, bishop b4 check, c3. What next, though? What next? Take. And bishop c5, I guess. For lack of a better move. Now f3 traps the bishop. But he seems uninterested in that move. Can't imagine why. Knight e7. Oh, he's got queen a4 check as well. Knight e7, f3. Am I going to get that trapped at some point? Oh my god. I didn't realize he was trying to win on time. I'm like George Alexopoulos, the Greek sloth. It's a little bit like someone on sound. You mean Dorfman? Oh, okay. Dorfman, is he still around, Bloby? He lived in France, right? It's good for your health to live in the south of France, I guess. Well, we know Morales is good. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say he's GM level, but I wouldn't go that far. It's a little unsound what he's doing here. But he's very, very cagey and dangerous. Oh, this G5, man. It's like the stupidest move I ever played. But Vinnick would be proud of F5, though. Proud of me for playing that. Nice bishop on H7 we've got. The situation is not so clear. $30 Mubat cheers today added. Bamboozled him again. Castle. I like castles. It is legal, right? Castle's queenside. I missed something. No. I missed something there. A little something. Rook takes F5. Doesn't work. It worked. It works. He lost on time. Oh no. Equal material, draw. It's a draw. You would have snagged the bishop? Oh man. I had this. Rook takes F5. I just realized too late. Rook takes F5 and knight F3 check. Nice game. That was fun. We got a million challenges, guys. I'm not going to be able to play you all, but Pi Day's up next. Key disconnected. Time to go to bed. All right. That was fun, though. Crazy. You're crazy, dude. Totally crazy style of play. Not really sound early on there, I think. Inventing, you know. Inventing new moves in the early going. Probably not a good idea. Let's play the Grunfeld. I don't know what he plays against this. I don't play the Grunfeld too much, but it was an old opening of mine. Ah, G3. Quiet move, this G3. If C5 takes... Yeah, I shouldn't just castle. Technically, black, I think, can take on C4 there. This is well known. How much longer am I streaming? Till 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Another 55 minutes. No, I don't think you're going to get to play. It's like 10 minutes per game, dude. So you're a little bit short. It's going to be like 4 or 5 more games. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have a chance if I start mowing people down. Most games take about 10 minutes. So it's not likely. Okay, so CD4 is a famous Kira's game. In his collected games, I remember. It had a big impression on me when I was a beginner. White allowing CD, knight d4, knight c3, bc. And that structure looking like kind of bad for white. But at the end of the day, I mean, it might not even be black's best move to play CD here. I'm not sure. I never played this position. Knight c6, knight d5, queen d5, knight e5, queen d4. I think that's theory. And like equal or something. Knight d5, queen d5, knight e5, queen d4, knight c6, bc6, bishop c6. That's like one line, I guess. Like theoretically it's CD, knight d4, knight c3, bc3 with equality. There's probably other moves here for white. Taking on c5, not great. Yeah, he has to play knight e5 there, I think objectively. Clearly the best move. I have a Romanician book, not Romanician, but Mikhail Chisin and Beliavsky on Fianchetto Grunfeld sitting right in front of me on the bookshelf. The book literally goes over this position. But I think now you're just down a pawn, aren't you? Wait, I'm trying to make illegal moves. Never mind. Never mind illegal moves. No, this is known too, probably, but considered to be harmless for black. I mean, this isn't that bad. White's still about equal. If I give you 1,000 bits, will you play me next? I guess I can make an exception. I gotta make a living. Yeah, I would take the challenge immediately for 1,000 bits. Bishop e3. I mean, this isn't a subscriber stream, so I mean, I'm not taking the subscribers in order. I'll do it for 1,000 bits. Nils used to do deals like that. He would bribe me. So wish someone would donate. Are you kidding me? Wow. Someone will donate 1,000 bits for you to play next. That's kind of messed up. All right, bishop e3. Yeah, I think this is probably in the book too, but considered again like not really a problem. Knight d4. a4 is maybe a move here. If only Bob was here. Bob is, but don't beg on the stream. Fuchsia and I get mad when people beg. It's below the honor level of a subscriber to beg. Anonymous gifter gave Bloby a tier 1 sub. And speaking of which, it's good that he's not here. Anyway, anonymous gifter gave Bloby a sub. That's interesting. Wonders who the anonymous gifter could be. We had another gift sub today, though. That was that Jim? No, I can't remember. Who gave the anonymous, not anonymous, but who gave the other gift sub today? Please remind me. Yeah, Jim. Okay. He gifted to Fuchsia. I'm wondering, if it was Jim once, was it Jim twice? Probably just blundered. He's a strong player. He doesn't usually make one move mistakes, but, you know, I know you guys in Europe, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, so. All right, Arsenal fan, thanks for joining us. It's only 12 midnight. And you got Saturday drinking to do. Trading queens, not a good idea. Down the exchange here. I'm just teasing Arsenal fan. He's got to stay in shape for tomorrow's drinking session. Can't be starting early on Friday. Body of knowledge. Jim doesn't do anonymous gifts. I've been doing analysis for a long time. I mean, I have quite a history. You know, I've done like hundreds and hundreds of chess audio lectures. I've taught countless lessons. I worked as a commentator for Internet Chess Club for quite a while. I did banter games on the World Chess Network for a long time. I mean, I have a massive amount of experience kind of like commentating in a way. So Anonymous Cheer just donated 1,000 bits. What's up with that? 1,000 bits? I wish it was 10,000 bits. Man, somebody buy Purple Dragoons some glasses. Oh my god, 10,000 bits. We did have a very generous donation though, via PayPal last week. Thanks to Dragon. 1,000 bits is awesome though. Thank you, Anonymous Gifter. Now I'm really curious who this is. That is awesome. But they want to remain anonymous, we're going to respect that and let them remain anonymous. Alright, Paida is not really in form today. He's pretty strong, but I think he's probably just tired. I know that I can't play if I'm tired. No way. You know, if it's like I'm in Europe, I live in Hungary most of the year, and this time of night I would be unable to play if I was you guys. Alright, he just resigned, so we got time for some more games. Save a dog. No, I figure you were just tired, man. No problem. Save a dog is really tough. Fuchsia, just 23 hours a day. She's good. I've had trouble with Save a Dog. He's really, really solid. Alright, let's try d6. I hate playing against knight f3. Though I use this move order a lot for white too. I find it a very frustrating opening to play against. One of the only things I can think of is to do this, to try to create some kind of weirdness. To get white out of their comfort zone when knight f3 is played, to do d6. One of my longtime teachers in the School of Hard Knocks, Grandmaster Alexander Ivanov, never formally my teacher, but he's taught me a lot of lessons over the years. He was using this a little bit for a while. But bishop d3 looks kind of weird. What I don't want to do is play a double king pawn opening with my bishop on g4. Knight c6, c3, I assume is okay. e6 is okay. c5 is interesting, but then what do we do? d5. I agree, Mr. Coffee. Let's just play, no, bishop c8 now. Uber driver, sorry. I'm just going to play e6. I don't know. I mean, truthfully, bishop d3, it's not that bad of a move. Now I can play d5, turn it into a Caro Cant. Alright, bishop d3. Let's go. What are we doing? Uber driver says c4. I got hate mail. Guys, just 45 minutes left, so I'm only going to be able to play 3 or 4 more games. 4 more games. B8. Masturbate's favorite move. He always puts his bishop on E3. The bishop E3 pro. I gotta remember, Sabadog's pretty good. We seem to have played an opening he doesn't know super well. Problem is, I don't know it too well either. And even so, it's not that great. Our goal here is just to confuse ourselves and our opponent. Now pawn takes pawn. Man, I had a game with a new guy, like, was it in the Simul, which was a draw. After ED, it became a kind of Petrov. Mr. Coffee, that could be an exchange French, right? Now C4. I think I have to play knight C6 if C4. Which is really kind of weird. I guess I could play C6. That feels very passive. Bishop F5 should be considered, but this keeping the pin seems best. C4 definitely the most dynamic. Then if something like knight C6, he could play like maybe A3. 92 is rather passive. This allows black to equalize. I guess I'd maybe arguably already equalized, but I was a little concerned that C4 could kind of juice up the position again. C5. Oh my god, my mouse. Oh no. The mouse from hell. The mouse, that's the first time you've ever done that in a long time. Mouse let me down. I did not want to play C6. Maybe my mouse, I can't even talk right. I think it's just like contagious. I think my mouse is dying. Maybe it's the battery. That's a little weird. The mouse is super slow now. That's his exact words, Super Driver. When black does weird stuff, make a big pawn center. How do you say that in Russian? Rook E1, C5. Now C5 takes, knight takes, bishop B5 checks, really kind of annoying. White doesn't have anything, but at the same time, it's very hard for black to do anything. I think this might be a moment where white ought to play B4 and clamp down, as is often done in recent times in the Caro-Kann advanced variation. Acerbate gifted a tier 1 sub to BBSD. A5's not a bad idea, you know. I mean, I'm telling you, he's solid. There's no way that Sabadog is 1500. I mean, I've been doing this refrain for a long time. He ain't no 1500 lichess player at all, or even close to that. So I can't figure him out, but he's better than 1500. I guess time is his enemy, like most of us. Still, he's very solid. Acerbate 400 bits? Whoa. You guys are awesome. Acerbate in 3rd place. Missed potential spam. It's potential spam. Alright. Guys, don't forget about my eBay. My eBay, Acerbate. Do you have the link? I can't like even remember my own eBay link. I'm selling stuff on eBay. I'm cleaning out a house and selling a lot of old stuff. And If you want to support the stream, you can buy my stuff on eBay. It's not chess related. It's not out of the question that I would sell a few chess books. I have somewhere in the neighborhood of like 400, 500 chess books. I'm planning on keeping my chess library tentatively. Problem is I have to sell a house and I don't have another house to move into. So there's going to be this like interim period where I'm going to have to take out like a storage unit and put my remaining stuff into a storage unit till I can get a new house. In a new place to live, maybe not a house, maybe like an apartment or condo or something. So I might have to unload some chess books, but we'll see. Just live in a storage unit. It sounds like a YouTube channel where people like live in a storage unit and make YouTube videos about it. I might get that desperate. Acerbate, do you remember my eBay link? Acerbate knows it. I should just put it in the stream, but I forget. I don't have... Let's see, I sold some... items. Alright. Bishop g5, wow. f6. Bishop f8. Knight b8 is a great maneuver, Uber driver. This makes me nervous. This is a little like how I lost to Hikaru. It was the game where it was an advanced Caro-Kann. And he did like Bishop g5. That was different though. That was worse. In that game, my king was really screwed up. It's the European in you? I wouldn't blame it on being European. I think there's a lot of perverted Americans here, but... yeah, acerbate is actually a word. I didn't realize that. You always hear, like, exacerbate. Okay, bishop f8. Man, what am I doing? He's not 1500. I'm not going to accept that anymore. It's ridiculous, dude. You're not 1500. Why are you 1500? f6, I'm just... No way I can play that, right? This is a ridiculous move. Mr. Coffee added the eBay command. Thank you. Man, Mr. Coffee is like a godsend. The best mod. Dude, I take the challenges in order. So you're probably gonna get to play, Zaki. 2 more games. Look at this c4. The mouse is screwed too. My mouse is totally screwed. That's a serious problem. I'm paralyzed. How is Saberdog 1500 on lichess? It's like the strongest 1500 in the world. This move I don't really agree with strategically. Bishop f4. I think you should trade bishops. It's like first bad move. Still, it's probably not that bad. White's a little bit overextended with a few too many pawns on dark squares, but he still has space to compensate. The Batman audio comic book is awesome. Yeah, that was mine. Should I trade dark square bishops, though? Maybe I can just flat out win a pawn somehow. He had rook a1 there, only move. Unless knight b3 worked as well. Well, that freaked me out. I did not expect rook c1. That's actually, ironically, not such a bad move. Toughest 1500 in the world. Did I screw up the position with this move? No. Man. He's also incredibly resilient in time pressure. Now it's over. Clearly. He's not going to admit it, though. Did I almost mouse slip rook c8? My mouse is not right. Alright. So we got half an hour left. Chess Francisco. First time playing him. I think my mouse battery is getting low. We got half an hour left, guys, so we're going to play as many games as I can. F5 plus 3. Guys, thanks everybody. Jim, Dragon BC, Acerbate, Bill, Never Odd or Even, Warnaki, Merle Dixon, Purple Dragoons. You hung in there really well, HT. Kind of reverting to my knight f3 every game repertoire, which is easy for me to play. It's the move that I play most in fast blitz because I don't have to think too much about theory. If I were to play e4 and d4 and go into more mainstream theory, it requires more thinking in the opening stage. That's why I like to play knight f3 so much, just kind of easier to play in fast time control. Mr. Coffee, thank you for making an eBay. Yeah, Jim mentioned the Kafka and Prague book. We've got a lot of good books, but I can't put them all on eBay. It just would. I don't have time. I have to like sell my house in like 2 months, and there's no way I'm gonna like sell like dozens and dozens of books in a couple months on eBay. But maybe if I just sell some, that's a help at least. Chess Francisco playing knight c6 and this sort of setup with the knight on f6. I mean, this Botvinnik pawn formation with the knight on f6 is generally considered to be like inferior for black, but I don't think it's as bad as is thought. You know, I've faced this occasionally, yeah, with this bishop e7 even. It's just not that bad for black. Traditionally, it was considered to be kind of a lame version of the closed Sicilian, I guess. But it's actually, I've seen this played by some strong players for black. It seems weird, but nothing like that bad about it. I'm moving. I have to sell a house. My mom's passed away last year, and I have to sell her house. I'm sort of staying at her house till I can sell everything. I live in Hungary. I'm just here to do this, and so I'm living in the United States now, but I normally live in Hungary. That's where my house is. But I've got to get rid of a lot of stuff, so it's really a massive project, and that's why Haven't been able to really focus on chess that much lately. Okay, you see this setup? I think this is like something where... Isn't there some Fuchsia's favorite player? What's his name? That English guy? Didn't he recommend this? Man, I mean, bishop g4 is now going to be a good move. I can't remember anybody's name now. You know, when I'm not doing something like playing chess regularly or following chess news, I start to forget basic names of chess players who I used to remember. I was playing poker full time for like 10 years, and now I can't even remember any of the poker players who I knew because I haven't been thinking about it. There was a guy, what's his name? Fuchsia always makes fun of him. Lawrence Trent, right? I think he actually like recommended some kind of variation of this sort. Maybe that was with F5 though. Come to think of it, it was a Grand Prix. That's what it was. No, Lawrence Trent recommended a setup based on like, yeah, it was not C5 but F5 and Bishop E7. So this is kind of like similar, but you're just not playing F5. You're playing C5 instead, with the bishop on E7. I'm just going for kind of classic plan. I give up the bishop, but I just control the white squares. Total coordination. Yeah, I'm terrible with names. Visual memory is good. Audio memory not as good. I'm not sure if that's the reasoning completely, but when you don't know what to do, ask yourself, what would Lawrence Trent do? Then play something else. He definitely is on Fuchsia's good side. I never actually met... What is he, like Caruana's manager or something? I never actually met the guy. He didn't become world famous till after I went into semi-retirement. So... I like my structure and the control of white squares here. Why am I going to play like rook b2? Rook b2. Alright, bishop d8. This is the classic. That's part of the Trent system, I think, in the Grand Prix formation. It actually fits in here too. I want to play like rook takes b7 somehow, but I don't see that happening. There's also knight d4, so I have to be wary of that. And life is not that easy. We can't ignore the fact that I have very little dark square control. Dark square, dark square, dark square, dark square, dark square. Sorry, dark squares. Thank you, mouse. So he went bishop g5. Interesting. All I want to do is like double against that b pawn. But if rook b2, rook a8, he's gonna start getting active and maybe like make me trade. What are you gonna do? Make me trade? I'll give you queen for 2 rooks. How do you feel about that? Queen for 2 rooks? Rook a8, queen b1, rook a1. I'll gladly accept that deal. It could get kind of unclear. Very imbalancing exchange when you trade the two rooks for the queen. It's certainly not my only option here, but this is a little bit worrisome. Knight coming down to d4. Chess Francisco's 1255. We have another guy who I think really pretty good for his online blitz rating. Again, Black's very coordinated and also seems to really have a handle on the opening system. More so than most people. Though he's got to watch back rank here. This bishop on h7 is a famous... That London system sort of bishop is a great way to get mated on the back rank. Yeah, he's got to take a time out to do that, which is huge loss of time for black. And I check and he's got to back off. Sorry? Yeah, I would just abort that comment. I almost made a crazy blunder now, getting distracted by trolling. Distractionary trolls. No need for a timeout? I don't know. Felt very trolly. If this person has, honestly, if this person has a problem, they should just contact me privately. You know, probably. There's no reason to go on my stream and start doing it. That's very trolly. If somebody like feels they've been falsely accused of being a cheater, why not just send me a message, you know? I don't know. That's weird. So rook takes b7. Let's see. Knight f6 check. That's kind of cute. Rook b7, queen b7, knight f6 check. Take, check. Bishop takes d3. What do I got there? I'm actually down material at the end of that line. He's the guy I played the high rated. Ah. Well, I mean, dude, whatever. I mean, I know I just submit games to lichess and they decide if people are cheaters or not. You know, I'm not the one. You know, I'm just the messenger. I don't decide who gets like labeled on lichess as a cheater or not. But if I suspect someone, I'm gonna submit it. You know, that looked ridiculous to me. Highly likely, sophisticated cheater. You couldn't even see your name in the challenges. Yeah, there's a lot of guys today, peoples. A lot of challenges today. BBSD, but I'm not taking subscribers. Like, no, you're not gonna make it, man. I've only got time for like 2 more games, possibly 3. Ancient Gamer, what's up? Once I was called cheater for using Riesling assistance. I saw your finger notes or your notes on lichess. That's cool. The Riesling assistance. You're doping. If it wasn't like doping, I would have been like. Many times I drank during my games. I don't condone it, but when I was going through different periods of my life, I was despondent emotionally. So I admit that I did drink alcohol during some of my rated tournament games. In fact, it was allowed in many cases. You know, if you go to the, well, I mean, in Germany, I think, I don't know what the rules are currently, typically was allowed. In the UK, I played in Hastings. So the Riesling assistance is no problem. I think you should definitely be allowed to have that. Okay, we've got another like sort of English closed, basically the same as, similar to last game. BBSC, take care. Thanks for becoming a subscriber. Beer is good. I played the legendary Luke McShane while he was 12 years old. It was funny, he had to like sit on something to be up high enough for the board, I think, and I was drinking like pints of beer while I was getting swindled for a draw. Yeah, I mean, I played only one tournament in Germany, and I think it was normal. for some people to drink during the tournament. But I mean, other tournaments, like in the Hungarian Chess Federation, they like forbid me to drink. And so, like, it's all confused. I don't even know what the rules are. It's sort of stupid, you know. It's not like it's doping. I mean, it can't possibly improve your performance. It does, but don't tell them that. It shouldn't increase your performance, but it does. Tal played for the vodka team. Tal, no, it definitely, you know, it could improve some people's performance. It's a reverse Korchnoi game. Ugh, the mouse did it again. But I'm concerned that's not my battery. That's like my mouse button failing or something. Hungarian forbids Palinka. I had this great teammate, Kardin Zoltan, who's like a former master. He's still alive. He's in his 80s and he still plays. He's about now he's down to in the low 2000s, maybe 1900. But even when he was 80, he was still like handing out the Palinka bottle before the team matches and stuff. Palinka. So Kardin and I would have a little bit of Palinka before the team matches, and we're talking like morning, you know. Hiroku Amail Pingu. I don't think you're gonna make it there with your second game. Chess Learner, you're welcome. That's Jin. Fuchsia. High-end Jin. I'm gonna have to make the stream like adult oriented pretty soon. All right, Queen D7, no. Knight G6. This is straight from Victor the Terrible. What you see here is not something that I created, but more it was something that I think I've learned from the late, great, and hated Victor Korchnoi. This is not my intention to play King F8. This was a mouse slip. But we're still going to play the best we can play it in the circumstances. The expansion of the kingside pawns was something that Korchnoi did in a very famous game with Master Stefan Sabo from a tournament in Bucharest in 1953. Look it up. It's a very cool game. Korchnoi white against Stefan Sabo. Kind of a lesser known master. But this looks like it's a... No, it's not a donation. Is it like bishop takes b7? He'll actually get down here with a rook. I mean, I'm not sure I want to go there. Let's just keep this under control. Is it still family friendly? I try to be family friendly, but we occasionally get a little bit focused on alcohol. All right. A5, B6. Rook B1 was the proper square for the rook to begin with. That's where it should have been all the way. And I did suffer from a mouse accident for the second time in the stream now. A5, let's do it. His knight could reappear and maybe use those squares. I'm going to do this. But Sabo is spelled with a Z. You know, it's SC. It's a Hungarian name. But he's not to be confused with Sabo Laszlo, who was the legendary Hungarian grandmaster. This was the lesser. He was like maybe a like Hungarian from Romania. I don't know much about the guy, but he didn't play that well. But it was a really amazing game by Korchnoi. An Adams family friendly stream. What made you say that? I like the Adams family. Let's just go. Fischer plays knight takes g3 instantly. Is he? Are you in communication? I don't like it. I don't like it. It's like knight's coming in here. It's getting active. But you might be right. You might be right. Maybe now he plays bishop h2 and g4 and makes me sorry I didn't when I could. Uber driver's usually right. Chessgains.com. Yeah, that's the tournament. That's the game. Really amazing game. Amazing game by White. You know, he like uses his pawns to just push black back. And if you showed that game to like Morphy, if Morphy had seen that game, he would have been like mesmerized and shocked that, you know, you can play chess like that, move all your pawns. I mean, it just goes against, it goes completely against the kind of the classical style of chess, where you're literally moving like all 8 pawns in the opening. Like, I don't think that Morphy would have believed that can be done. So your favorite Addams Family character is Cousin It. Now we're really getting deep into the true heart of Fuchsia. Cousin It is pretty cool. That is Fuchsia's dream, man. Cousin It. Yeah, those are real birds. We have real birds, real squirrels, real rabbits, real bunnies. I said that. Skunks. Grandmaster Alexander Ivanov, who I referenced earlier in the stream, he like couldn't remember the word for skunks, so he, even though he lived here for many years, he called them American stinkers. I don't know what that is, if it's a translation or what, but you don't have skunks in Europe, right? So game over. The pawns. But I think that Uber Driver is onto something. Kyrgyz is from your country, from Estonia. Always he was good. Uh-oh. Did I make a mistake here? Alright. Did some research and was impressed how highly rated he was. You know, a lot of people, Bad Playa, consider Kyrgyz to be one of the strongest players ever to be world champion, and I would definitely agree. He was awesome, and one of my most impressive Kyrgyz analogies would be that's not the word I meant, but whatever. One of the most impressive things I ever saw from Kyrgyz was his beating Fischer twice with black in the Caro-Kann. It was kind of funny because Kyrgyz didn't even play the Caro-Kann very much, but Fischer was so good on the white side of the Roi de Pez that he basically put Kyrgyz out of business in his main opening, and so he literally used, like, you know, an opening he didn't hardly play that much to beat Fischer twice. Very impressive games. Zaki Liu, like, making some catastrophic mistakes, but also very okay, I have like a lot of Kyrgyz books. I have the collection, the two book series where he plays e4 in one and d4 in the other. That's a very good 2-book set about Curious Complete Games. I have an older book. He was early on like one of my favorite players to study. He also played correspondence chess. He was quite strong in correspondence chess. That's actually how he claims he became very strong, by playing a lot of chess by mail early on. A small tribute to Joaquim Durão. Who would not want to have one day played against Fischer? That's insane. Nice. So he's submitting a game on a link to the Durão Fischer game. They probably played at least once, maybe more than once. Maybe Olympiad or something like that. Okay, guys, we have one last game. I'm only going to get to Hiroku. This is going to be our last one. Hiroku, unless he loses in like 2 minutes. I know Primary Disease is disappointed and you other guys, but we got to go. It's been a long stream. Time to enjoy the weekend. I'll play another Grunfeld. I don't feel like the King's Indian is... The King's Indian is just tough, man. I actually play this with white, E3. Quiet system. I don't know. I think I prefer here Bishop, Queen B3, probably the best. Also CD. It seems like Bishop C, Bishop B2 should be a mistake, technically. Take care, Master. Master V, we'll call him. Too long to say his whole name. We got to remember to get a mouse battery and see if that's the problem here, because I'm almost mouse slipping constantly. Mr. Coffee, in advance, I'd like to thank you for being the mod, and you really helped to improve the stream in just the week that you've been doing this. Muchos gracias, Senor Coffee. Castle Knight C6. Wireless mice. Is there any other way to go? Now you're threatening to take that pawn on c5 for reals, so I guess I have to do this. Oh no. Alright, that's good for me. It should be good for me. When he trades pieces in an IQP position, isolated queen pawn position, you're helping black. And I think that's a very minor but significant positional mistake to play knight takes d4 rather than pawn takes d4. White should try to keep the pieces on the board there. If you're going to play with a static weakness like this pawn on d4, you really don't want to trade closer down to the endgame voluntarily. The acerbate bishop. Blocked by its own pawns in 2 directions. Not optimal. Alright. Not quite sure what the plan is. Put pressure on d4. Stay active. Develop the rest of the pieces with rook d8. Black should be better. I say the white has a static advantage here without anything to really show for it. I gotta be super careful with this mouse. Is it possible my last move is a mistake? Like, should I have played queen d7 to almost preempt this? Then I could be developing a piece right now. If I play bishop takes f3, you know, I'm like developing his pieces for him. That feels like a big lemon for black. Feels like I wasted time a little bit. All right, c'est la vie. So it's fairly simplified, and another player who's pretty good for 1500 Why can't you guys... Okay, why can't you guys make mistakes, is what I'm going to say. But as International Master Albert Bilkrosh told me, my problem, and the reason why I'm not a GM, is the fact that oftentimes I try to play the very kind of clear style. And I think that in playing a clear style, I make it easier for my opponents. You know, like here, again, knight e4 is really irritating. Maybe e6. That allows a bishop g5 pin. I don't have much here. Wow. Hiroku is 1500, and I've won every single game against him. I mean, this is frustrating. Rook c4, knight e4, trading more pieces. Knight e4, queen e4. Rook c1, bishop d4. I guess I can try to take that pawn, but then he's just taking on e7. I ended up losing it back. And just massive exchanges. I think I misplaced my queen, you know, with queen d6 right out of the beginning first few moves. This move trades pieces and white is close to equal. Now I basically have to have like a Karpovian level of technique to win this game. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to beat me, but it's also hard for me to win a lot of times. That's why I have too many draws. And I didn't always play like that, but I started, I think, to develop that style when I started to play in GM tournaments where I was one of the lower rated players. I played a lot of Grandmaster Norm tournaments where I was one of the, like, maybe bottom 5 out of 12 players or bottom 4 out of 9 players. And when you're constantly playing up and you're usually one of the lower rated in a group, I think it has a way of making you more afraid, more like this mentality that it draws like a decent result. I think I played too many of those tournaments that made me a little bit stylistically change. I was more aggressive when I was like 2200. Exactly like playing computers a lot, yeah. That's why I stopped playing computers a lot, because it makes you passive, it makes you afraid to try any sort of tactics and stuff. I gave up playing computers basically 15 years ago because I felt it had altered the way I played. It's good for training, I guess, but it can totally change the way you play chess. If you start to play afraid, that's not good. So if he plays knight e4 here, if I play knight d5, you know, he's got knight c5. This is a support point, it's called. And once it gets in there, I'm going to have problems. This is a very awkward move. Rook d3, suspiciously awkward. So even knight d5 is playable now. I can be a little bit better in an endgame like that. I don't even know what rook d3 really does, but now we're just getting in time pressure. Okay, rook c4. I mean, is he going to abandon the c file? Because that's okay. I guess he's going to just play this. I'm not happy with the way I played this game, and you can probably tell from my discussion of it, but maybe b4. You try to create another weakness. But you basically have to be Karpov. I don't have any GM norms. I mean, the closest I ever came was just missing. If I had gotten one GM norm, I probably would have gotten them all because I would have been heavily motivated, you know, to just keep going. Because I never got one, I just kind of like gave up on it. I think if I had gotten the first one, I would have gotten the next two, you know, just forced myself to do it. Rook D back to D1 doesn't make much sense. Now, I mean, I know a lot of players who aren't really much better than me who got the GM title, but they were more diligent, perhaps. But it takes a lot of hard work. And I would be, you know, if I could make it, I would barely make it, you know. I would never be like a super strong grandmaster, but I might be able to eke it out. I joke even now that I could win the World Senior maybe when I get old enough. That's my best chance of becoming a grandmaster. The Larry Kaufman style. Be a strong IM your whole life, and then, you know, even a middle level IM, and just win the World Senior. You get it in one tournament. All right, that's the backup plan. Thanks everybody for joining me. We're gonna close it out with this game. Heroku's getting low on time. Lost concentration a little bit. Now we can just slowly improve the position. eBay. Buy our eBay stuff. Taimanov won the World Senior. He already had the time. He didn't have any pressure. Another guy who got the GM title was longtime Ukrainian IM. What's his name now? You see, I suck at names. Feingold became GM that way. No. What are you talking about? What way? What are you talking about? Feingold? No. But there's some like lifetime IMs who got the GM title by winning the World Senior. All right, guys. We will be Etienne Bareyev. It's a combination of two great players. It sounds good. Anyway, guys, we'll be back on Sunday. It'll be 5:30 simul. Great stream. Thanks, Mr. Coffee, for making it possible. And no, interesting games today. Played some different openings and stuff. A lot of fun. Again, simul for 25 players on Sunday. Thank you guys for supporting the stream. Hello. All right, simul Sunday. It'll be 25 and no computers. Okay. Bye-bye. Sounds suspiciously similar to another panda. Feingold was an IM for a long time because he refused to really travel, you know, to play in GM tournaments. And it wasn't easy to make GM norms in US tournaments. I don't know how he eventually got the title, but he deserved it. You know, Ben was unquestionably GM strength for a long time. Anyway, we'll see you later. I will see you on Sunday, guys. Thanks again. Bye-bye. Thanks, Mr. Coffee.